As you can see right there, there is Manhattan, and there is the Chrysler building, which I'll be showing all the time. And this is a bus lane, and this is the car lanes which goes from here. So this is a very pretty day today here in Manhattan. Hi guys, what's up everyone? This is Gaurav. Welcome back to another video. Now, as you can see, I am at Tudor City in Manhattan, and today is like a bit cloudy. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 4 hidden costs for international students while studying in the United States. If you watch my last video, I talked about 10 other expenses other than the tuition fee. This is another part 2, you can say, that 4 hidden costs for international students while they study at a US universities. Now, for international students, the costs can start rising up as soon as they land here in the United States from the plane. So it's really difficult to summarize what all things will be there, but there are like around 4 points or 4 hidden costs which I want to discuss with you today. And also I will show you the Manhattan around like the last vlog, and so you can see where I work, where I stay, and it will be, I'm trying to do vlogging and give you information at the same time. So as I was talking about the hidden cost, there might be some other hidden cost which comes up which you might not have budgeted in your plan, and in your plan to how to fund your university or your education while you are studying in the United States. So what happens is, if you go out of budget, then you will have a trouble financing your education, and you might have to take some extra loans, or if you don't get any TA positions or RA position, then there might be difficulty in paying off your debts which you have, or the student loans which you have taken, or the expenses might go up. So in this video, I'm going to focus on 4 additional and 4 most important hidden costs which might come up while studying in the US. So if you want to know, please keep on watching. The first hidden cost will be unexpected housing costs. I understand that you guys might have interacted with current international students or your seniors regarding housing or renting an apartment, but this thing or this housing rental stuff can get so complicated sometimes because there are landlords involved, there might be some other hidden fees which might be involved, or you have to give a deposit before the landlord gives or handovers the keys. So if you live in a dorm room, it might be simple, but because it might be university's cost and you might be paying it with the tuition fees as an rental dorm room where you pay and you stay on campus housing, which is called. But when it comes to off campus housing, it is very important, because there might be, suppose there are few rules and regulations that you might have to follow, and sometimes you have to pay deposit. Like suppose your 1 month rent is around $500, then you might have to pay $500 for the deposit and the $500 upfront on the first month. So that is very important to consider while you budget your plan. So you have to pay $1,000 upfront as soon as you come to United States, or even before you start and even before you land into the United States. So that is something which you have to consider while budgeting. And also you have to consider, suppose your university is far away, then you buy a car, then you have to consider the car insurance, you have to consider the fuel money, and there are so many other costs involved which you definitely have to consider, because these costs can get very high. And especially housing, if you are staying in New York City, there are so many other rentals which are very, very costly, and it might cost you a pretty penny if you don't pay really a good attention. So it's very important to plan for an unexpected cost which can cause because of the housing situation. Depends on the city, varies, but on an average you might spend around $500 to $800 for housing, and the living expense might be different, like food and everything else, but you do need to prepare for the housing rentals. Right there, as you can see right there, there is Manhattan, and there is the Chrysler building which I'll be showing all the time, and this is a bus lane, and this is the car lanes which goes from here. So beautifully well designed plan where there's a road and then there are buildings surrounding it, and most of the Manhattan looks like this. As you can see, the color of the trees are also changing because it's a fall season, and there are parks over here, and it's really a beautiful scene to look at while you stand here, and it's truly amazing. You have to be here to feel this beautiful layout. Second hidden cost I would like to say is the taste of homes. Beyond cafeteria and the school meals you might be having at your universities, there are always some times where you will be missing your home country food. Like suppose I'm from India, so I was missing, so I had to buy groceries. And if you do not know how to cook, thank God I had great roommates who know how to cook very well food, and I'm slowly I started learning. But if you do not know, then you might be craving for Indian food, and some of the universities like Texas State University, it's far off from the local food which you might be getting at your hometown. So some town and some region might be more Americanized, so you might have to go and buy those food from some places which might be far away. So you have to encounter those hidden costs inside the traveling cost and also other costs which you might be encountering because you want the homemade food. And also you have to buy groceries, you have to buy ingredients and every other cost which might be encountered during you miss your home food. So here in the United States there is a shop called Patel Brothers, and they have everything you want. They have frozen rotis, chapatis, and every other all the other kind of sabjis. If you want to eat all the curries and everything, they have it in stock, so you don't need to worry. But if you want to be eating more healthy, you might have to cook by yourself, and in order to cook that, you might have to take all the other expenses into encounter, because that's the most important thing when you study abroad, the food, because you are so much used to your homemade food. Your mom cooks for you, and you might not have been able to do it. If you stayed in hostel, that's a different case, but if you didn't, then that cost might add up. So you have to learn how to cook, and also you need to budget all these other extra expenses which you might have to consider as a hidden cost. So taste of home, enjoy your food while you're in America, and you have to surely budget for that. The stairs are leading down there, so we're gonna go from here and walk some downtown area and figure it out. So I was by that pole which you can see, and this is on the street level where we are right now, and these are the streets right now. But it's kind of Veterans Day. I am off today, but I have to work because of the site work, so it's a pretty much silent city right now. The third most important hidden cost is tips and the sales tax. Unless and until you stay in 4 states of Oregon, New Hampshire, Delaware, or Montana, every other places you will have to pay sales tax. Now whatever, suppose a gallon of milk costs you like around $3 or $4, then $4 plus sales tax, some amount of percentage will be the sales tax, and that is you have to pay. So that is something which you need to budget, or you need to keep on considering while budgeting for your living expenses. And here, as an American culture, you also give out tips when you go to restaurants. It might be unusual for many people as it is not mandatory in many of the countries, but as an American culture you must tip like around 15 to 20% of whatever your total bill is. So it's another important cost which you need to consider while you come to United States, because in order to implement this kind of, it might be very difficult for you to pay tip of about 15 to 20% of your total bill because you have never done so. But be with American people, be with American friends, go to restaurants and ask them how to tip them, how to gratitude towards the waiters and or the restaurants, because this is an American culture which you need to adapt, because it's highly considered as a rude if you do not tip them, because most of the people here in the United States, they give around 15 to 20% tip. Also depends on their service, but these are the two important things which you definitely need to consider is the sales tax and the tipping culture here in the United States. This is another beautiful location here. It looks pretty. This is the United Nations headquarters over there, and this is the Secretary building of the United States. And as you can see, the park looks beautiful, and it's very pretty weather today. Fourth hidden cost which I would like to say is the winter, summer and the spring breaks. Now when you are an international student, you are so excited that you are come to United States and you want to travel the whole United States with your group of friends so that you know how it works and how it goes here. But sometimes when you have the winter season coming up, so you have the spring breaks and also in the summer breaks, of course, when you don't have any kind of classes going on in your university, there will be some occasions when you would love to travel. So you definitely have to plan for this kind of cost. Like you might go on a trip to New York, Chicago, California, some major cities, and that will cost you a pretty penny, like renting a car or taking the flights, or even in your summer break you might decide to go back to your home country because you want to go there and meet your friends and family. So these are some kind of costs which you definitely need to consider. It's a very pretty day today here in Manhattan because it's a bit of cloudy, and as you can see, it's beautiful. That's the Chrysler building which I was talking about. Were the four hidden costs which you should definitely plan on before you come to United States so that you do not have any trouble budgeting about those kind of expenses. Now here are some tips which I would like to give. Plan the tickets of your flights or whatever it is ahead of time. Plan the renting of a car ahead of time. Plan the housing ahead of time. And also look for the flights when you are sure of going. Suppose you are going in next summers, then plan ahead of 6 months and start booking out and renting all the stuffs. And the most important tip I would give is to save money. If you are a TA position or if you are getting money on campus, please try on saving some of the money because that will be very helpful and it will help you to regain or pay off all your debts real quick, and you won't be in a burden if you are traveling or if you are spending a lot of kind of this hidden cost which I just showed you. So I hope you like this video, and I will be making more such kind of contents, and please let me know how did you like it, and do follow me on Instagram because I keep on posting information over there too. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.